Today's session is all about the student's journey and their life after landing an IT job. So, hi Naman, you're there?
Hey, hi. Hi, Diksha. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today. Okay, so now let's talk about today's agenda. So in today's agenda, we're going to let you know about Earth, that what is Thinkcloudly is all about. And then after that, we'll have our interaction time with one of our guests who will let you know about their journey, how they conquered the IT world, what obstacles they faced. And you can also feel free to ask any question from our guest. And then we'll have our hack time where our co-host Naman is going to tell you about a lot of exciting things about IT, and then we'll have our quiz session, and then we're going to move about our webinar offer, and last we'll be having our final FAQ part.
Exactly, Diksha. You know what? This time we have changed the notion a bit. This time we are bringing something which is very exciting. We want to understand that what is that exactly required when we are at work. And that is what we are going to hear from one of our student. Uh, she is successful today. She is with us. And I'm very happy that she is with us and she is successful. But it's quite important for all of us to know what is she going through. Is she successful or is she facing some challenges? So we are going to take a few questions with her and we are going to understand what is she going through. So I'm going to welcome her in a moment. Before that, I would like to talk about Think Cloudly, because I don't know how many people know Think Cloudly or not, but let me introduce Think Cloudly in a very different way. So basically, what happens when we talk about job, we always think that getting an IT job is impossible. And that is where Think Cloudly is trying to fill the gap by making sure people who have who are not able to get a job in IT, Think Cloudly can really help you. Think Cloudly has helped over 1,500 students till date where they have already started their career in IT. We have different services available. We are offering over 25 different IT tracks. So we have AWS Cloud, we have artificial intelligence, we have project management, Scrum Master, business analysis. Like that, we have over 25 different IT tracks. But what makes Think Loudly different from others? So we have killed a standard notion of training with something else. We are providing today lifetime IT support. So if you get a job and if you need us at any point of time in IT, Think Loudly, you can always find Think Loudly as your mentor, as your support. Second, we are not here to just train you on a skill. We are here to make you ready for the interview. That is why all the programs we are running at Think Loudly, that is driven with the mindset of interview readiness. Third, what is that we are going to achieve? Our main goal is to make sure that we are able to land six figures salary across United States, Canada, and United Kingdom. So we are mostly in these three countries where we are trying our best that students who are connected with us, they can land six-figure IT job or maybe seven-figure, who knows. After that, now when we talk about interview, when we talk about training, when we talk about skills, it's always means that we are job ready. Okay, so that's all about Think Loudly in a nutshell. Over to you, Diksha.
Yeah, and also to our new audience, I would like to tell you that basically Think Loudly helps to secure our journey to become certified IT and management professional. We help to reserve your spot for high paying opportunities, and we also provide more than 25 plus courses to our students, where we'll be helping them with the training with our specialized trainers who are having more than 11 to 15-year experience in IT. They are the they are the specialized high-tech industrial experts, and also we'll help the people to get certifications, hand-on projects, and job assistance in IT.
Yes. So I hope the audience who have joined us here today, they will be getting all the assistance what is required in your journey ahead. So moving ahead, Diksha, I think let's just talk about this quotation. So I am Naman. I'm not sure how many of you know me, but you guys can always be in touch. You can always reach out to us, and you can always connect and gain some guidance whenever you need. You can always be in touch with me. I believe in this quotation, which is which is written over here, that success is not the key to happiness, but it is actually a different way. It's happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. And I think everyone over here will agree with me that we should do something with happiness, and that's when our interest will increase. That's when we'll put more efforts to something, and that's when we will be able to achieve what we have planned to achieve. So success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. And this has worked for me, and I hope it actually works for everyone who has joined here. So what do you think, guys? Is this correct or not? So do you think that we should do something with happiness, and we should love what we are actually doing and or what we are up to? What do you think, guys? Everyone here, what do you think, guys? Is it important? Yeah, exactly. So moving on, Diksha, so we can welcome our guest today. I think she's here with us.
Okay, so now we are welcome our guest Destiny, who's one of our students from Thinkcloudly, who achieved her path, and also she gonna let us know about her journey, that how he achieved her goal, what obstacles she faced. Okay, so let's listen from Destiny itself. So everyone, please welcome Destiny.
Welcome, Destiny. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. It really means a lot that you are here out of your busy schedule. So how are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Okay, great. So, Destiny, what would you like to tell all the students who are here, because they are in the journey. I think you were in the same journey, maybe in 1 year ago, you were in the same journey. So how many months have you been on the work now, or in IT, I would say? How many months it's been?
I'd say like about 8 months right now. Eight months, yeah.
8 months. Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
journey. That's a great journey. So, Destiny, we are going to have this session, and in
Hmm.
this session, we have kept 5 important questions that is actually
Great.
coming from directly from our students' heart, and they would like to understand what's going on. What's going on in IT, what's going on when we get a job, because you know what, many of our students, they always ask me, Naman, will I be able to handle the job or not? And everyone is curious to know this answer. So we'll basically start with all the questions one by one, and uh, I think our audience is equally excited, just like me, to hear your journey.
Okay. So me basically for me, what I would let anyone know is that if you really want to succeed in this sector, you need to put in a lot of hard work. Me, it's been basically hard work. I really work because when you come from a place where you didn't have that initial training, and then you're working with people that are working with Indians who are grown from birth and they have it in their DNA. You don't want to be at the place where you are always like asking questions and like feeling lost. So me, hardworking and extending my horizon. I didn't just focus on one thing. Every day I'm learning new skills. I listen to webinars, I listen to podcasts and see what is there in the market. And you have an idea of what is happening. So that when something is coming in new, at least you're on top of your game. So me, one of the first things I take is you have to be ready to learn, be open to learning new skills. Your brain has to be refreshed all the time. Let me say, like in the IT world, you need to patch your brain, like IT people do some patching all the time. So that's been one of the things for me. And then also, one thing that I've learned, I mean, it's like when you work in a company, you need to do what we call like networking. You need to extend also your networking, go beyond where you work, your department, know other people who do different things so that when you have meetings, you can have collaborative efforts in order to reach your goal. That's what has really worked for me so far.
So can we say that IT is in your DNA now, just like Indians?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll say it is because I mean, when it's in your DNA, you find that even your lingo changes. I mean, the way you process is different. The way you express yourself, the way you analyze issues is different. Like initially, it was like but now, I mean, it's different. I mean, learning and hearing other people and other people's experiences, and even sometimes reaching out to you, having support from you, and all that. It's been part of the journey. I mean, that's the initial step, having that support from your team, learning, support on the job and stuff. Yeah,
No, absolutely. No, we will be always there, Destiny. And it's not just us. I will not take the credit, or Think Loudly will not alone take the credit until student puts the effort, just like you did.
sure.
I still remember the time when you went for that interview where you were actually working today. And after the interview, you were so nervous, how did I perform? So I still remember that
Yeah,
conversation, and it was and when you came next time to me, that Naman, I have embarked the journey which where I was on, and now I'm working in IT. So that was actually a different different feeling altogether. And I think
sure.
that was something which you were and the best part which I like, Destiny, about you, that you did not lose your perseverance at any point of time. You were always that, no, I have to get it. If I'm not
Absolutely.
you kept building the skills, you kept building the skills. Yeah. So
Absolutely. And let me add, and I had done a couple of courses with you guys. I did like I didn't just like come into the cloud and like okay, came in for GCP and and like you're in the batch, you 5, 10 of you in the class or five, and every day somebody's getting a job and you're not getting the job. I'm like, okay, I didn't get the job, everybody's gone. What is the next batch? They're doing Terraform. I signed in for Terraform. So by the time I was just not signing up, that was my journey. I had had a huge experience, so much so that when I went in for my interview, it was like cheesecake because I had done my DevOps, I had done my cloud, I had done what else? I had done almost everything that you offer. I mean, the time of wait. So it's not something that if you really want to get into this thing, you need to put in your all. And I don't think you can. I mean, I'm Christian, and my Bible says when you put your hand on the plow, you don't look back. All right. So I put my hand on that plow, and I didn't look back until the day I didn't even go through. I think that was my real first interview that I did, and it wasn't even it was a big role for I think one of the first four big consumer companies in this United States. And I was really nervous. I thought I didn't make it, and I was surprised. It's told me, you sounded so good based on the projects that we did. We did some projects that were my go-to, were like back the bomb for the interview. So that's how I had my key to my life that I'm living right now.
No, Destiny. Destiny, you know what? I can spend my whole day listening to your stories. Honestly, I love hearing, the way you explain things. Would you mind to tell what were you doing right before joining IT? What was your actual background? Were you working somewhere? So if you can just give a hint so that people can relate that, having no experience in IT can really work.
Yes, actually, I worked for other companies, but it had nothing to do. I worked for marketing department. I did executive assistants in the very big companies as well, but these had really nothing to do with IT. So I was doing like risk management, compliance, and stuff, nothing to do with IT. But in me, IT, I had always loved IT, but looking at the circumstance where I came from, I didn't get the chance, to learn actually what I had passion for. So when I got to where, when I discovered all these other, when I got here and I discovered that we had other areas where you could learn IT and be equally successful like someone that actually went through 3 years of university or 5 years, I just seized the opportunity. I was at home. I worked at my convenience. I did other things on the side. I had other jobs I was doing on the side, but I come home. I know I have my homeworks. I have my sessions, and then everything that we did in class, I had to go back and make sure. Seriously, that's me. I had to burn the candle. Everything. Nama would tell you sometimes at my own strange. I would work on the code. And I'm like, Nama, it didn't work. How do I fix this? And he said, okay, hold on, I'll come back to you. And then by the time he comes to give me an answer, I say, oh, don't worry, I found the solution. That's the kind of attitude I put towards it. So I had no previous, nothing. I'd never heard of AWS, nothing, never heard of the cloud, nothing. I just started this journey, and as I was learning, everything was fitting, all the pieces of the puzzle were coming together.
Very nice, very nice. I mean, this is something which is enlightening, which is encouraging to the students who are trying their journey, just like you. So I would like to ask you this question.
Hmm.
Like we are starting with the questions now, like the five questions
Yeah.
which we have picked up. These are the most
Hmm.
frequently asked questions, Destiny. So the first question is, how do you feel after working in IT for past 8 months? If you can just talk about your journey, not the challenges because that question is coming next, okay? But how do you feel about it? Yeah.
I feel great because I feel like I'm fulfilling purpose. That's what I really wanted to do. I like it because it's a very fast-paced environment, so you get to hear new things, hear about new releases every day. It's exciting. And then you're meeting lots of people that are young, as old as you, and as even older than you, who are coming from different backgrounds as well. And you realize that you're in a company, you're not the only one who has just switched from somewhere nurses before, somewhere doctors before. So it's been an interesting journey for me. I mean, I've seen an exponential growth from when I started to where I am right now. It's just continuous. Let me put CICD. Let me put in the IT word. Continuous
Okay, now
integration,
it means that you are familiar.
deployment.
Yeah, so it means that you are more familiar with IT terminology. Am I right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I hope you don't compare your life with DevOps CI/CD pipeline anymore. Yeah.
Oh, oh no, oh no. It's interesting because initially at the start, sometimes you're kind of timid because it's like, okay, you don't know what is gonna come, but when you get used to it, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and then you see that, okay, it's nothing is new, and then you have to have that kind of mindset where every day you get up in the morning, you're like, okay, what's gonna surprise me today? So it's
So
been an
what was your
interesting journey.
what was the technology you were using at work? And like in last 8 months, what were the main technologies you were using? And were you following the, agile framework or Scrum Master kind of a model where you have sprint meetings? So if you can talk about your technology and what were you doing in the Scrum meetings? So if you can talk about both the things, it will be really helpful for our audience here.
My environment is kind of interesting. So I would call it scrum meetings. Maybe the scrum meetings. I know we have some sort of a project manager. So what happens is, okay, based on the task that I have, I am an engineer, a cloud engineer, but I'm outsourced to some sort of digital marketing team that has nothing to do with what I learned, but they're using the infrastructure which I did not build, but that I'm supposed to know how to, manage. And so I left from. So what happens is that every day we get in there, and then we have meetings. Like once we have two kinds of meetings. Let me say three kinds because I'm in various departments. So we come into the meetings. We have Jira. We have this Atlassian suite where you have tasks that are assigned to you. You have tickets that come to you to do certain things, and then they give you due dates. So what happens in our Scrum meeting is that they ask for blockages and challenges. So we might have a due date to have a release, let's say in 4 weeks. Within the 4 weeks, every Scrum meeting will come in, or every stand up, as we call them. It's like, what are your challenges? How can the team help you? Where do you need support? So that's what we do every day. So you get you get lots of support where you're not able to properly execute. You're being supported. So we do that every week, but the rest of the time you're working on your task. So if you come in on the Monday, you have the 1 hour meeting where you have your sprints for one project. You come on Tuesday for another project. The rest of the week is working towards meeting your goal and giving your next minute to say exactly where you are.
Okay, so if I ask you that, if I talk about tools, so you were actually using Jira to get all your tasks, am I right? And
Yes, I have Jira
okay,
and Jira and Fresh Service.
Fresh
Jira
service.
Fresh Service. Yes,
Okay.
we have Jira
What
Fresh
about
Service here.
what about DevOps tools? So which DevOps tools you
Yes, DevOps tools. Okay, we have the Atlassian suite. So we actually using we have Bitbucket, we have Bamboo. Bitbucket is for the repo. It's like GitHub. We have Bamboo, which is like Jenkins that we yeah, Bitbucket, GitHub. So all of our Jenkins, Bitbucket. We're moving to GitLab now. Some people also use GitHub. And then yeah, and then the Bamboo that does the build job for us. So based on the task we do, we go to the server, we put in the source code, we go to Bitbucket, work on the server, Bamboo does the deployment for us, and then since I'm mostly doing digital, then we have our things on the website.
Okay, so Bamboo is exactly a similar tool, just like Jenkins, right?
Jenkins, yes, it does the build job. Yeah, everything is integrated.
Okay, and when we talk about cloud, that which cloud you're using at work. So is that a multi-cloud environment or is it just AWS?
No, we have AWS, we have Alibaba, and we have GCP, so everything comes in.
Very nice. Okay, so it means
Yeah.
that so what do you think, Destiny, that someone from a student group, if they have some understanding on AWS, should they go and learn GCP as well? Or do you think AWS works and they should spend more time on DevOps?
Well, I will say a yes and a no. It depends on what you are looking for. I'm a high end go getter. I'm looking at being a director. So I'm not looking at staying at very low level. So when you're looking at being at that very top place, you need to have an idea of all the different cloud technologies because when you call yourself a cloud engineer, you're not just being AWS, you're limiting yourself, right? So I initially started with AWS, but when I look at the market and seeing the trend, I'm like, I can't limit myself to one thing. And it's not even difficult, you know what I mean? Because it's the same concept. It's just that they use different terms towards the same things, but it's the cloud stays the cloud. So it's basically that I will encourage someone that if you know AWS, it's not hard. If you already know one, it's easy for you to move to the other. And then sometimes too, when you know on the job, it depends on the task that you do. You might be limited to certain resources. That 1 second, I think my screen is trying to disconnect. Let me put it on the charger. Can you see me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay,
Okay.
great, great. So yeah. So just give me 1 second, please. The actor. 1 second. I'm sorry.
So are you okay, you are at work, I mean you are in your small office, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Can you see me now? Great.
Yes.
Perfect.
Sure. So moving on to the second question, Destiny, that what are the
Mhm.
main challenges you have faced in last 8 months at work? Because sometimes you have reached out to me and you have said, Naman, I've been working for last 16 hours or 12 hours. So sometimes it happens, right? When time comes of production time and you are
Yeah.
actually so what were the real challenges and did you ever feel demotivated being in IT that why did I select this career option? You know?
Um. Not really. I've not gotten to the point where I'm really like, did I make the right decision? I've never gotten to that point. But sometimes my greatest challenge is when I don't know a project being handed over to me. And the worst fear factor for me is like when I get up on Monday, I'm not sure what's going to happen in the system. Remember, well, when you start working, you find that you're being given tasks. Some of the things are things you have no idea about, you have no experience of, you've never done them before. They assume that when it depends on the kind of level, entry level you're assuming or where you want to start. Based on what my entry level, I got in at a very high level. So when you're getting in, they expect you to know certain things. That's where reading a lot counts. But my challenges mostly sometimes is human factor. If somebody you're working with is giving you high expectations, right? Some things that are not, some things that they want you to do when it's not really possible. Maybe sometimes it's just somebody that just wants to make your life miserable. But I've learned to navigate, those kind of challenges or hurdles. But my challenge mostly is when I'm given something that I don't know and I'm expected to deliver in very short space of time, especially something that is obstructing production. Like, let me give an example. Let's say some system crashes because now I work even in the application level now. I get very involved in applications, working and trying to repair applications, fix some codes that maybe previously you had no idea. You need to go and find out, do research and find out how do I fix this one. So those are my main challenges. But apart from that, the other things are things that I really can handle. They could come in as a challenge, but by the end of the day, it phases out and it's okay. But my challenge is doing something that I do not know and I'm expected to deliver within a very short time. Yeah, those things happen. They do come. Once in a while, they'll come.
Does
Or
it
your manager just,
does it stress you like the time?
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember sometimes I knock my head on the wall. That, what is this? Why am I going to do this? And then for some reason, I don't know how it plays out. Maybe they'll say, during the spring meetings, sometimes you just come up front and tell them that, you know what, this one, I'm having a blocker. And maybe someone can be sent to you now to work with you or, work out with you and find a solution. But those things do happen. I've had them like not once, not twice. And then sometimes too, we have a situation that nobody has a solution. Like nobody, it's not just you. And you have to sit on the computer for 24 hours. You have to read, keep searching and reaching out to other people who've had similar experiences and you're asking for how to solve those kind of problems. I've had those moments. Even last night, I've been doing some patching and actually the patching, thankfully, that was been the challenge. Thankfully, you're patching systems, and sometimes when you're patching systems, you're having a version that might not be compatible with the underlying OS that the VMs are having. So when you patch some versions are superior and then it breaks the system, people cannot deploy, cannot do stuff. So we had a couple of like 9, 10, and I had to work with my colleagues from the IST till 2 a.m. my time. That means I've been at work since 5 a.m. to 2 a.m. That's Friday, 2 a.m. Saturday morning. Sometimes you
Wow.
have those times. Yeah.
I think so let me ask a question now from the audience. Guys, what do you think that now Destiny has more English vocabularies which are actually IT vocabularies? The way she is using patching, OS. So don't you think that she's using a lot of IT terminologies and that is the effect of 8 months? What do you think, guys? Isn't it exciting everyone that she's using so many IT terminologies because she is in the system now. Okay. So what do you think, guys? Isn't it? Yeah. So I think Destiny, many people agree with me that you are actually into IT now. You're an IT lady now, and I think everything what you have gone through that has trained you to talk in that language. Because when you go in sprint meetings, you have to sound technical, otherwise
Exactly.
you have space,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You need to. Yeah.
I
You
think
need
I
to.
think we see a best comment in the chat box. Someone says, "Sounds like she's been working for years." I think that
Sometimes I feel that way until when I get a challenge, I'm like, I'm just working for one day now.
awes- awesome. I mean that's really encouraging. So let's move on to third question, which is quite important because every time and everything cannot be solvable by me. I always need some help. So whenever you approach your peers or your counterparts or your manager, what happens? Do you really get support, or do you see some kind of a politics, office politics coming up where your performance can be affected?
Well, I'm working in a company that has a very good culture, and it's something you call people skills or soft skill. When you get into a company, first of all, you need to understand the people you're working with, and then you need to create relationships. As for me, I'm working in a very nice environment, and I have colleagues that, and then sometimes it's not because you just started. There are lots of things that are also other things that I also possess that they need. Remember, it's not like you're an empty vessel. There are lots of qualities that you also have. You know, it could be resilience. You might not have some technical skills. You might have resilience, and you might know how to drive certain projects or encourage people to do stuff. So what happens is that it's like a give and take. When I need to support, I support. 100%. And when I need support, they do help me. I've never been shy to reach out to someone. I say, you know what, this thing, I have no idea. You better show me how to do it. So they'll walk me through, and I take down my notes. And then sometimes I'll document them and I put them. We have other softwares like Confluence where you put documentation so that next time, I myself, because some of these things, the way it's fast paced, you can do a task today, and then after 1 week, you've not done it, and then you have the same task you don't remember, right? So you
Correct.
don't go asking the colleagues anymore. So you need to have that culture of documenting or putting your things in a way that if the same thing comes up next week, you can still go back and refresh your brain and apply those same techniques and routines on them. But my colleagues are very supportive, and I try to also support them. It has to be a give and take.
No,
You need
Destiny.
to make your environment conducive for you to succeed. It's in your hands to make it.
No, I think this is the very wonderful tip which you are giving to us students here, that you keep a habit of documenting things, because approaching your colleague again and again for the same problem
Hmm.
can actually give a trouble at later point of time in the relationship you maintain with your colleagues. So if you document
Yeah.
it, you will refrain going to them again, and that will help you to maintain that relationship, that this lady is not just killing the time, but also she's understanding that everyone has their own time, and
Hmm.
value for time. I think that's a very good insight. What I think, thank you so much, Destiny, for bringing it up. And
Hmm.
what about performance? Like, that every year or after every some time, your manager will do some ratings. So did it happen
Hmm.
already in last 8 months that your manager has rated you, or is it going to happen after some time?
Well, with every quarterly, we do have like performance discussion, like people call it people for growth, P4G, performance for growth. So you sit down with your manager, and he tells you exactly, you define your objectives for the next quarter, and after that quarter, you sit together and you look at everything that you have put down as your objective, and then you assess. Did you meet your targets? Did you meet your goal, or do you need some more time? With me, so far, I've had but very positive feedbacks, very good and positive feedback so far. Remember, you can only have positive. I mean, you can't start by not having a positive, because you're starting something and you need to demonstrate that you're capable of doing it, and you need to put in your best. In the course of doing this, that's the fallout of it. People see you. Sometimes you're just doing your thing, like you're working long as people see you online. People are like, what is this lady doing online all the time? Sometimes you're just doing your research, but they know that you're taking the job as an owner, you're owning it, you're making sure that the company succeeds. So those are the things that when you put your mind to the job, they come in as fallout. You're not doing it intentionally, but people notice that these are things that you're doing. So I've had so far the positive feedbacks, and I just hope that I keep doing the thing that I like doing and getting better feedbacks, and getting promotions as well. It's not working and sitting on the one spot, right? You want to grow as well like other people. So you have to create that environment so that you can be promoted as well.
Yes, yes, you're right. Thank you so much, Destiny. I mean, that totally makes
Mhm.
sense to me. Moving on to the
Mhm.
next question, Destiny, that now, as you have already secured a very stable career path and you are already on it, so what is your next step, and where do you see yourself in next 2 years? I mean, you must have planned something, right? That
Mhm.
I have to learn this. I know that recently you were approaching Thinkcloudly for GCP training, but that's actually a part of the
Mhm.
bigger plan, right? So what's that big plan for you?
Yeah.
You are planning in next 2 years to achieve? Is it like, do you want to stick to technology or you want to move into management roles? So what's that next step for you, what you have planned? Because people right now, they have changed the mentality. They don't want to just get into IT, but also plan what's gonna happen down the line, right? So this is something I think everyone would be happy to hear about. Uh, so over to you, Destiny.
So yeah, I'm looking at 2 years, not just like being at this place where you execute, but also like learning other technology. Right now, I found myself. based on the tasks that have been given to me, I'm doing a lot of security, and I'm finding myself training on tools like Waze, Prisma, how to cybersecurity. I'm finding myself in it, something that I didn't intend to do, but based on what is coming at my job, I'm learning all those things because when I'm seeing myself next 2 years with all the opportunities that the company gives you because you have trainings in house. I take nothing for granted. I'm seeing myself moving like being like a tech stack manager where you can understand the stack end to end. You know what I mean? And your solutions architect, you know, pieces of the puzzle where they can wake you up. It's not you necessarily writing configurations files or doing YAML templates, but you can sit in big meetings and decide, okay, this is what we want to implement. How do we manage this stack? Which are the particular tools that we can put as part of this particular stack? I'm looking at it being like a senior manager, not doing like little tasks, but being allocate tasks to other people. That's my goal for the next in the next coming 2 years. But to get there, there are lots of things learning, learn other tools, related tools. You might not be using them in your company, but like I said earlier, I listen to latest releases. I join meetings where they talk about tools that we might be using. I pay attention to details. So that's my goal, be a senior manager in the next 2 years.
Wow.
Director is too yeah. Director is too soon, but that's my goal.
Very nice, very nice. I mean, I
Mhm.
think Destiny having a having a goal and working towards it actually takes you towards it. So whatever you are doing right now, getting into technology more and more, and you're not stopping your learning. People out there, they get one job and they stop learning, but that's not the right
Mm-mm,
way. You know,
mm-mm,
in IT, you
mm-mm.
cannot stop learning. It's not possible. You have to make sure that Google is your best friend to search something immediately, right? You
Yeah,
need to you need to be good at troubleshooting, right? Many times, as you said,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
many times when server goes down or there's a
yeah.
crash, there's a system crash, then you have to
Mm-hmm.
fix it. You have to bring it up.
You
So
have to fix it. Yeah, you have
yeah,
to fix it.
yes, exactly. So
That's the worst part of my job. That's my nightmare.
That's awesome. Yeah, but you are able to maintain that for 8 months. That's splendid. I think even the audience will agree with me here that if you are able to maintain the journey of 8 months, it means you are actually able to fix your journey for next 80 years because you have learned how to deal with IT, with teams, with colleagues, with peers. I think that's going to be very helpful even going forward. So now we are on our last question of the day, Destiny, before we actually move on to our next step. So what's that one advice to our students? Because market is changing, market is changing every now and then. But what is your one advice to our students today? Because not everyone is learning DevOps. Some people are learning cybersecurity, some people are learning Scrum Master, some people are learning something else. So, what is that one advice would you like to give to our students so that they can work towards it, being in any field of IT, and they can switch from non-IT to IT? Over to you.
Well, what I would say is just I don't want to sound like something I've repeated before. Do not me personally, I will not stick to one kind of service in the IT world. I'll extend my territory because sometimes the way IT works is it start off with something one, and then by the time you turn around, it is morphed to something else. Today you hear DevOps, tomorrow you hear DevSecOps, tomorrow you hear things like that. Things are just merging, and you find out things are fast evolving. So I'll advise somebody that if you want to do IT, and I still insist it depends on your level. If you want to do like a very low level where you answer calls and then people ask you to connect, that's one thing. But if you want to like grow and really make a juicy career and not only the money but enjoying what you are doing, you have to be open to learning other technologies. You really have to be open in other areas. You have to understand security. You might not be like core, how can I say, like an expert, but you have to understand how security is. It's not only securing this infrastructure, but also how people understand security to make sure that they are not being attacked. It's not only about DevOps, it's also about data. It's a whole lot going on. When I see what I'm doing today, seriously, it has very little what I actually learned in school. But this learning I had in school was a big booster. It was a foundation to understanding what I'm doing today. So my job is evolving every day. I get up the morning. It's not what I learned. I was thinking that when I start learning coming here, when I come to my job, I'm gonna be a solutions architect. But guess what? You're doing solutions architect today, but you might never be a solutions architect because by the time you start working for any company, the infrastructure is put in place. You're not there when you are not there. And now people are doing things like using coding, IAC to launch infrastructures. Things are really, really, and now we even have now artificial intelligence getting in. And sometimes the roles that we are doing, sometimes they might not need us. So what do? You have to keep following up the trend in the market and make sure that you evolve as it's going. You can't stay fixated on one thing. That's the advice I'll give somebody. If you love IT, some people get the job and they don't keep it. For me, it's I'm talking to somebody, I'm addressing somebody who loves the IT, who wants to switch. Some want to switch because maybe I want to make more money. But I'm telling you, there are also downside of it. I don't want to sound all rosy on this platform. If you come into IT, some people come in, they get a job, but they can't keep it. They leave. You need to have a certain culture, a certain mannerism, a certain attitude for you to keep this job and look at it the way I'm looking at it. But if you don't have these things, I'm sorry to tell you that the IT is not for you. I won't lie to you that everybody can switch. Everybody can switch, but not everybody can keep it. So what switching is one thing, maintaining is one thing, and reaching your goal is another thing. So that's my advice I can give you guys.
Awesome, awesome. This is really insightful, Destiny. So, thank you so much, Destiny, for coming today. I mean, we
Welcome.
have to proceed further with the next as we have a very less time. As I told you in
Take
the
your
beginning,
time.
I can spend like whole day talking to you, listening to your IT journey, as we always do on phone. But I think
Mhm.
thank you so much for sharing everything. What with our students. I think students are powered, they are they feel more motivated, isn't it, guys? Do you feel motivated after listening to Destiny, or after listening to Destiny's Destiny? I would say that.
Thank you. I'm seeing all of the nice texts coming in. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I see Sylvester. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So I encourage you. Do not feel shy. I encourage you. It's not difficult. Trust me. It's just, you know, my Bible says that your heart is where your treasure lies. So if you really like it, you put your hand in it. It's not hard. And trust me, when you get to work, and let me tell you one last thing, when you get to work, don't look from outside, it looks like a monster. But when you get in, trust me, you find out that it's gonna be as my own journey. You're gonna find yourself doing it if your heart is in it. But if you don't, if your heart is not in it, you'll quit. But if you want to do it, it's not hard. You can make the switch and you can be successful as well.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Destiny, for coming up today and enlightening all our students. So moving on to the next part of this webinar, guys. I don't know how many of you have downloaded Android application, which is available for all the students who are learning with us. Guys, go and download Android application. You can access all the recordings of your live session. Let me just share the screen just a moment. Let me show you something. So it's gonna be just one moment, please. Yeah. So when you go to website, you will find a link, a button over here, which is Get App. And when you click on this Get App button, you can download our Android application. This Android application is very helpful because it gives you an option to watch your recordings. So let's say if you are attending AWS program with us or Scrum Master, you can find all the recordings available over here. You can get your access code from the WhatsApp group you are part of and let us know. There are multiple other things. You can attend some free courses. You can watch your recordings. So it's going to be very helpful. Moving on, there we have our YouTube channel. I don't know how many of you have subscribed to it, but it's very important that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over here, we are actually working very hard on our YouTube channel. We are coming up with several different things which are going to be very helpful in your journey. We are coming up with new content. If you look at our new content, we are coming up with project management interview questions. and these are actually driven by someone who is already in the market. So you can watch these project management interview questions to build your skills, understand the basic terminologies and the questions which you will be expecting in the interview. Apart from that, we have some Python interview questions which are available, and there are some tips and tricks questions which will keep coming up on this channel. Just go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, share with your friends, and make sure that you are clicking on the bell icon, because whenever we post a new video, you get the notification. And that's going to be very helpful, trust me everyone, because we're going to come up with new content every time. Okay. Apart from that, if you guys have downloaded the Android application, thank you so much for that. If you haven't, please go to Google Play Store and download our Android application and get your access code from the admins who are part of the sessions already. Diksha, so what do you think? How was the session with Destiny? Do you think that's going to be helpful to our students?
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is going to be very much helpful to our students for sure.
Okay. You know why? Because the story which Destiny has, I think we can have the similar stories coming up from different students who have been alumni to the Thinkcloudly, and we will be certainly welcoming them in next upcoming webinars, just like we invited Destiny first time today. Yeah. Okay, so I think we can move on with the next. Guys, you can decide and drop your details. Meanwhile, without wasting any more time, let's move on with the next thing. Just a moment, guys. Okay, so now is the hack time. Let's understand what is that main hack, when we are searching for a job, what is that we are losing or we are missing. So how many of you are excited to know this hack? Are you guys excited to know this hack today, like what we are going to see? Is everyone excited? Okay, I see only one person is excited, not everyone. Guys, please let us know real quick so that I'll be able to share with you the real hack. Just a moment. Okay. Okay. So how many of you are searching job for cyber security? Or how many of you are in cybersecurity space? Can you guys please say yes if you are looking for a job in cybersecurity space? Do we have anyone over here who wants to land a job in cybersecurity space? Okay, awesome. I see many people over here. Okay. Now, let me ask you one question, guys. So when you are looking for a cybersecurity job, what is that role you will look for? What's that job role you will look for? Can anyone please tell me here? Like, let's say if I want to apply a job on some job portals, so what is that job role I will apply for? Will it be cybersecurity specialist role? Am I right, everyone? Cybersecurity specialist, right? Okay. How many of you say that it's not cybersecurity specialist, it's actually cybersecurity analyst? How many of you say that? So is it cybersecurity analyst or is it cybersecurity specialist? What do you think, guys? Okay. Now, so should I apply for cybersecurity specialist, or should I apply for cybersecurity analyst, or should I apply for SOC analyst? Right? Now, this is very confusing. Everyone over here, it can be very confusing. Some people say, okay, I should apply for cybersecurity consultant. Now, this is confusing. So as a cybersecurity specialist, do I need to apply for the role for cybersecurity specialist, or should I apply for analyst, or should I apply for consultant? Which role should I apply? Isn't it a big question, everyone? Right, guys? Okay. Guys, always remember that in IT, every organization, every organization, call it a different name. Okay, some organization may be calling the same role as cybersecurity specialist. Some organization may be calling it as cybersecurity analyst. Some organization is calling as cybersecurity consultant. Where your job responsibilities remains same, but they are calling it with a different name. And that's where a student get confused a lot when they are applying for job roles. Some organizations hire for, let's say, DevOps engineer. Some organizations hires for release manager or maybe release engineer. Some hire for infrastructure engineer. Now, all these are the same people. They are the same roles you can apply for. And this is very confusing. So maybe when we go to LinkedIn, we will apply only for DevOps engineer role. We will not apply for release engineer because you're not familiar with that. You may not apply for infrastructure engineer role. So you will be always confused that should I apply for DevOps engineer or should I apply for release engineer, or how do I actually know which role should I apply for? But honestly, guys, it totally depends on the job description, and the job description always similar. So for all these roles, the job description is going to be similar. Now, what happens? If you know all the available roles, then your job search market increases, because maybe there are only 50 opportunities for DevOps engineer and you are applying only for 50 opportunities. For release engineer, there are 20 opportunities, and for infrastructure engineer, there are 10 opportunities. Now you have increased the market by 30% because now you can apply for 80 jobs. Earlier, because you were not aware of these roles, you were just applying for DevOps engineer role. We never even thought that other roles, the organization is calling with different role, but the job opportunity or job description is same. So it's important, guys, that whenever you do your research, go to Google. Okay, visit Google. Just a moment. Okay, and search on Google and do your research. What roles, what job roles for cybersecurity? Okay, what are the job titles? And now you can see that you can actually apply as a cybersecurity specialist. You can apply for information security. You can apply for chief information security officer. Maybe you can apply in forensic. These are the keywords of searching the job. Now you're not just searching. Let's say if I visit my own LinkedIn profile, okay, and on this LinkedIn profile over here, I'll search, let's say, cybersecurity. So now I have more keywords with me to apply for that job, because now I'm aware that even I can go and apply for system analyst. Maybe the job description can be same. That organization is calling with a different name. I know that these are the different job roles, but it depends on organization to organization. What are they calling to that particular profile? Maybe the cryptographer is doing the same job what security engineer does. Maybe information security and chief information security officer does the same job. Maybe penetration tester does the same job which information security does, because organization is open to hire someone, and when you are in the project you can be assigned with different responsibilities. So it's not like that you're hired as a DevOps engineer, so you'll be working as cybersecurity engineer. No, that's incorrect. But job titles for DevOps, you will also find job titles for DevOps. You will find job titles for project management manager. In some project manager cases, in some organization, you are being called as account manager or delivery manager or project manager. So even for project management role, there are different roles or different job titles available. That will increase your horizon for job search. Okay, so keep in mind, everyone, when you are searching for a job, make sure you are searching for the title first. Keep the list ready And once the list is ready, then you can search for your job, and that's going to be very helpful. Do you think, guys, this is going to be helpful? So are you going to do your research first on job titles before looking for a job or before applying for a job? Is it helpful, everyone over here who has joined us? Is it helpful, everyone? Will you be doing your research before you actually apply jobs? Yes, this is very important. Okay. So second hack I would like to tell you, everyone, that we always at Thinkcloudly, we always suggest our students that create a network on LinkedIn, right? Always remember, everyone, that on LinkedIn you have to create a network of meaningful audience, okay, which means that someone who can really help you. Sending requests to random people will never help you. So make sure that you are looking for hiring managers of your own domain. If you're looking for a job in DevOps engineer, make sure that these people to whom you are trying to send a connection request, these are DevOps hiring manager. Okay, so these people should be hiring in the same domain where you actually belong. Okay, and make sure that when you are actually creating that uh one moment, so when you are actually creating that network, you have to use the add note option a lot. Let me show you how. Let's say I search over here, um, project management, project manager hiring. Okay, if I search over here, over here now, if you basically go and let's say this guy is hiring for project manager, now you have to send a request. So when you are sending the request, make sure that you're adding a small note, or you're able to send a message, or you can basically when you are sending a connection request, you are utilizing you're sending a message, and that message has to be very good, that you're trying to connect because you're trying to find a job, and if there are any open position, so try to write a small note before you actually send a connection request. Let's say if you are if you search this guy on LinkedIn. Okay, just a moment. It's people. See, it's not giving me option. Just a moment. Yeah, so I mean, your connection request will be accepted when you are actually going to send them a note. So if you send them randomly, let's say if I click on connect, they will not accept it because these are the hiring managers. Make sure that when you are going inside and you're utilizing this message option, so that you can send them a message who is actually going to read the message and accept your request. And make sure that you have at least 100 to 200 hiring managers in your connection, which is going to be very helpful at later point of time when you are going to start your job search procedure. Okay, so these are the two hacks for the day, everyone. So make sure that you do proper research before searching for a job. And second, make sure you are creating a network of hiring managers. Next time when you post something, let's say you want to find a job, you have a network of 100 people, you can drop a small message that you are looking for a job. So if anyone in your network who is interested, they will definitely gonna contact you. So that's it, guys. I hope that's gonna be very helpful, everyone. Okay, sure. So now, guys, Diksha, do you want to talk about kids course here? Because I'm done with my part. Diksha, are you here? Okay, I think she's unable to unmute. Admin, please unmute Diksha so that she can take over. Okay, meanwhile, Diksha is able to unmute herself. Guys, if in case you want to you want to enroll your kids, we have the kids course available where kids can actually learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are the web development technologies, especially designed for your kids on a very special price. Your kids at the end of the program will be able to create multiple tools, multiple games like tic-tac-toe or guess the number game. So if your kid is 8 years old or older than 8 years old, you can express your interest and you can avail the special offer price, because this is especially designed for students or for kids and for the parents who want their kids to push their kids towards IT. So if in case you want your kids to be in IT, do let us know in the chat box so that we can reach out to you and can really help you. So this is actually a program for kids. This program is going to have a special offer of 399 USD. So if anyone who is interested, do let us know in the chat box so that one of our team member can contact you. Yeah. So I think we can proceed further with the quiz time now.
All
So
right.
yeah, okay.
So, okay, so now let's gear up our sleeves and now let's move forward towards a quiz time. So everyone, as you can see on the screen, so if you want to join the quiz session, so as you can see the QR code here, so you can just scan the QR code, or we are providing you the link in the chat box, or you can just directly click on the link to join the quiz session. So to start with the quiz, let me clear you with the instructions first. So the quiz will contain 5 questions and you'll be getting 20 seconds for each question. And you won't be able to change your answer once it will be marked. And also the winner who will get high marks, the winner will be the one who will be getting high marks at less time. They'll be getting they'll be getting course vouchers, and that's only for the top 3 winners. All right, so we have got our top 3 winners who have won this quiz. So one on the first number, we have got Titus. The second one, we have one is Jairus, second one is Titus, and third is Eunice. Congratulations to all of you 3.
Hey, congratulations to everyone. Guys, you can drop your contact information. One of us will reach out to you and will share details about the 50% off voucher, which we will be giving to you guys. Yeah, sure. So thank you so much, everyone. So Diksha, I think we can talk about where they can find the webinar video and everything. And
Yeah,
thank you so
definitely.
much, everyone, for coming today.
Yeah, definitely. So everyone, if you have any sort of question, any sort of doubt, or any sort of dilemma that you want to ask us, so please feel free to ask in the chat box, or maybe during the interaction time we missed any sort of your question. So please feel free to ask in the chat box so that we can answer them. And also, if you're asking about that, where you can get the webinar recordings, so within 1 or 2 working days, you'll get into our YouTube handle, as per Naman said. So in our YouTube handle, you can check our YouTube handle, and within 2 or 3 days, you'll get the webinar recording. And also, if you have any sort of question you wanna ask us, please ask. And also, we are just left for more few minutes. So still, if any of your relative, any of your friend, or you are interested in any of the courses that were mentioned in the webinar offer, so please let us know so that we can help you out with that, and do provide us with those following information.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.